Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Chinese ebook before it's gone. Today's topic is how to speak more of your target language, specificity, and can-do checklists. How much of your target language can you speak right now? If your answer is not much, there is a way to speak more, even if you're learning on your own. In this episode, you'll discover 1. How specific goals can get you speaking more, and 2. How you can apply this learning tactic with our learning program or any other resource. But first, listen up. Here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, the Going Sightseeing Conversation Cheat Sheet. What country or city would you like to visit? With this PDF cheat sheet, you'll be able to talk about where you want to go, and you'll master all the common words and phrases for sightseeing. Second, the Most Common Nouns PDF ebook. You'll master over 90 common nouns with this bonus PDF picture ebook. You can download and review on any device. Third, can you talk about hairstyles? Would you be able to get a haircut in your target language? If not, then this 1-minute lesson is just what you need. Fourth, phrases to use with your doctor. I have an appointment. I don't feel well. My throat hurts. You'll learn how to say these phrases and much more. Fifth, can you talk about books in your target language? Learn how to say novel, author, thriller, and much more with this quick vocab bonus. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. How to speak more of your target language, specificity and can-do checklists. Every learner wants to speak more in their target language, and yet speaking is almost always the weakest skill for most learners. So, how do you fix this? How do you speak more? Keep watching. These tips will apply to solo learners and those with a conversation partner. First, let's put language learning aside. Let's say you wanted to speak more about a certain topic in your native language. What would that depend on? The length of that conversation depends on how much you know about that topic, right? If you don't know much, that conversation won't last long. If you know a lot, you could go on for hours. It's the same with language learning. The more words and phrases you know around a certain topic, the more you can speak. It's a top-down approach. Pick a topic, for example, weather, and work your way down. Learn the relevant words, phrases, and questions for that topic. For example, what's the weather like? It's nice weather. It's sunny. It's windy. I like sunny weather. I don't like rain. The more lines you come up with, the more you'll be able to talk about the weather in your target language. The point is, if you want to speak more, you should start with a specific topic. Sounds obvious, right? So why don't most learners do this? Most learners don't do this because they're just passively following a learning resource without going after what they specifically want. It's much easier to follow a textbook than to stop, think about what you want to talk about, and go off in that direction. Of course, you should keep using your textbook or other existing resource. You can do both. Follow a resource and pursue specific topics. But here are a few reasons why this tactic is so powerful. First, specific goals always beat vague goals. For example, between setting goals like, I want to save money, and I want to save $50, you're more likely to succeed with the $50 goal. But because you have a specific number to look for and measure, you won't stop until that $0 becomes $10, then $20, and then $50. Same with language learning. Between, I want to learn more words, and I want to learn 20 words, you'll do much better with the specific goal. Second, you get to speak more sooner. You can go try the general approach of learning the 2,000 most common words, but that will take a long time and it won't get you speaking any faster. But if you pick a specific topic and get all the words and phrases for it, you'll be much better off. 3. So you know what to focus on. Again, knowing what to focus on helps you learn and progress faster. Otherwise, if you're just going through a textbook with no specific goal in mind, you'll spend months on learning a language and never see any real progress. So remember, the more specific you are with what you want, the more likely you'll get it, because you'll know exactly what you're looking for. This is why we tell you to set small, measurable, meaning specific, monthly goals. Now, what kind of topics should you pick? That depends on you and your hobbies and interests. You can also start with common topics, like talking about yourself, your family, the weather, or your weekend plans. But to make it easy for you, here's what you can do. 1. Download our free PDF conversation task list. Pick a topic to start with, for example, talking about your family. Then, take lessons inside our learning program based on that topic. You'll learn practical conversations that you can use in real life. And as a result, you'll be able to talk more about your family. 2. Take 5 or 10 minutes and write out other lines that you'd want to use, either in that conversation or questions that someone may ask you, and get them translated with the help of our Premium Plus teacher. 3. Come up with your own topics that are interesting to you. Then repeat step 2. Come up with all the phrases, questions, and answers that could come up in that conversation. Write them out and get them translated with your Premium Plus teacher. Or translate them with a translation software. You could try this, and it might not be perfect, but it could help you start and get you speaking a little bit more of your target language. The goal here is to be able to talk more about a specific topic, and as a result, speak more of your target language. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about what's your real reason for learning a language? If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye! If you're learning a new language, there will be times when you'll struggle with the lesson, when you won't fully understand what you've learned, when you'll be in a rut, or when you just won't feel like you're making any progress. And that's totally normal. In this video, you'll learn what to do if you're not learning, and how to overcome language learning struggles. Let's begin. Number 1. Understand the mindset of a successful learner. Some learners are more successful than others. A key difference between successful learners and less successful learners is in the way they approach problems. Some learners rely completely on a learning program. If there's a grammar rule or word they don't understand, they get frustrated and blame the program. They don't look for solutions. Successful learners approach problems a little differently. If they encounter a problem, they look for a solution or ask for help instead of getting frustrated. You may feel frustrated at times, especially if you're a beginner, but how you choose to react will make all the difference. Number 2, set small, measurable, realistic goals with a deadline. Most learners fail because they set big, vague goals, like, I want to be fluent. When they realize they have no idea how to do that, they lose motivation and quit. The solution to this? Set small, measurable, realistic goals with a deadline. For example, finish 10 audio lessons by the end of this week. Learn 20 words by the end of this week. Speak 1 minute of conversation by the end of this month. Listen to lessons for just 5 minutes a day, every day this month. Now your goals are small and realistic enough to accomplish. They're specific and measurable, so you know when you reach them, and the deadline gives you a finish line. For example, either you learned all 20 words by Friday or you didn't. When you reach your goal, you gain a ton of confidence. This improves your chances of reaching your next goal because you've had experience reaching a goal and you understand the things you need to do to be successful. Number 3, read along with the lesson notes and lesson transcripts. Now, what if you're doing a lesson but you can't catch a word? Take advantage of the lesson notes and lesson transcripts and read along with the lesson. The lesson notes give you in-depth grammar and vocabulary explanations that are not available in the lesson. And the lesson notes give you the word-for-word transcript of everything said in the lesson. So if you want to pick up every word, read the transcript. Number 4, review, because repetition is the mother of all learning. If you're struggling with a particular word, grammar rule, or lesson, be sure to repeat and review it a few times. And then, come back a few days later and review it again. This same principle is used in our spaced repetition flashcards. The system quizzes you on words, then re-quizzes you in 3 days, then in 6 days, and so on. until the word gets embedded in your long-term memory. Some things you can do right now are download the lesson and lesson notes, save the words to your word bank, or even write down the words or grammar rules. Then come back to review them later. Number 5, reach out to our teachers and ask questions. If you're a Premium Plus member, you can easily get in touch with your teacher and get all of your points of confusion cleared up. Or you can always leave a comment on our lessons, and our teachers will get back to you. Remember, you're not alone. If you're struggling with a lesson, you can always get in touch with us. Number 6, take a break and go do something else. Another thing you can do is take a break and do something else that doesn't require much thinking. There's a reason our best ideas come while in the shower or while taking a walk. While you're on a break, your brain is more relaxed and starts making connections that you couldn't see when you were focused and stressed out. It's also why coming back to review things with a fresh mind can help you better understand the lessons you've taken. Number 7, downgrade your learning routine. If you're studying for 30 minutes a day and find yourself overwhelmed, or if you suddenly find yourself busy, the best thing to do is to reduce your study routine to something easier and more manageable. If you've been learning 30 minutes a day, drop down to 10 or 15 minutes. Even 5 minutes is good enough because language learning success comes with consistency. Quitting and coming back every 3 months won't work. This brings us to our next point. Number 8, remember, learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Think about it. You can't cram for 5 hours and expect to remember everything you've studied. So just like with a marathon, it's okay to go slow and at your own pace, even if you're learning for just 5 minutes a day. Similarly, if you're having trouble understanding a grammar point or a lesson, don't let it bring you down. Learning a language is a marathon, a long-term game. The little points of confusion you have now are just small obstacles, and you'll fully understand them with time. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! When learning a new language, we sometimes have a hard time with things like procrastination, discouragement, or failure. But don't panic. With a good strategy, you'll be able to overcome these difficulties. Are you ready to discover the 4 habits of successful learners? Number 1, optimize your time. When learning a language, it's important to dedicate time to your studies regularly, even if sometimes it's difficult. You're busy with school, work, family, or friends, but you can spread out your learning throughout the day. Study whenever you have small gaps of time in your busy schedule. This can be when you're on the metro, on your lunch break, or while you're exercising. Our podcast learning format fits perfectly into your tight schedule. Number 2, consistency with your chosen method. There are a lot of options when it comes to courses and learning materials. Switching from one method to another can confuse you and disrupt your progress. Focusing on one learning method will make a difference. Our method has been created and optimized by real teachers, so you can stick to it with confidence. Number 3, use your language background. Many languages share some commonalities. You can find words that look or sound similar, or even share the same grammar structure. A little bit of language background will give you an edge while learning. Number 4, study continuously. People are excited when they start learning a new language. The enthusiasm usually lasts until the first roadblock. This can lead to discouragement and procrastination. But don't burn yourself out. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't try to learn it all at once. Break things down into more digestible chunks. Learning step by step might feel slow, but it's an efficient way to learn a language. With patience, motivation, and good resources, you'll master the language. Remember, you can't learn a language overnight, but with motivation and these daily lessons, you'll be on the road to fluency. Give it a try now. Sign up for your account. Just click the link in the description.
Hi everybody, welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I answer most of your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, do Chinese use AM and PM when talking about time? The answer is no. Even though there are people in China, mostly well-educated people, who would know what AM and PM mean, most Chinese don't use AM and PM. In formal situations, for example on a train schedule, you'll often see the 24-hour format for time, such as 07:30, 21:20. In spoken language, people often use 上午, 下午, 早上, and 晚上 to be specific. 上午 means morning, 下午 is afternoon, 早上 is early morning, and finally 晚上 is night. So to say 10 a.m. in spoken language would usually say 上午10点. To say 3 p.m. we use 下午3点. Generally speaking, if it's before 9 a.m. you can say 早上7点, 7 a.m. because it's still early in the morning. If it's after 6 p.m. you can say 晚上7点, 7 p.m. because it's late evening. If the time is between 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. we use 中午, which means noon. Let's see how we say the following times. 6:20 a.m. 早上6点20 9:30 a.m. 上午9点30 or 上午9点半 半 here means half. 12 p.m. 中午12点 1:30 p.m. 下午1点30 or 下午1点半 10:25 p.m. 晚上10点25 And do you remember how to ask about time? You can say 现在几点了? What time is it now? 明天几点开会? What time is the meeting tomorrow? 我们后天什么时候见面? When are we going to meet the day after tomorrow? Now it's time for us to say goodbye. Or in Chinese, 现在到了我们说再见的时间了. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. 我们下期再见. See you in the next episode. Bye bye. Hi everybody, Yinru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer most of your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, what are the taboos I need to be careful of in Chinese culture? The biggest taboo in Chinese culture would be to mention the word death, 死, or anything related to it, especially on happy occasions such as New Year, 新年, wedding, 婚礼, or birthday. In China, people hate the word 死 so much that they even hate the number 4, 4, which sounds the same as 死, but has a different tone. Hospitals sometimes don't even have a 4th floor, 4楼. Apparently, nobody wants to go to that floor. When choosing their lucky date, 良辰吉日, to get married, couples will avoid dates with the number 4, such as the 4th day in lunar calendar, or 农历初四. On the other hand, the number 6, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9 are considered lucky numbers in Chinese culture. There are other taboos which are relatively minor. For example, you don't want to wear a green hat because it means that your wife or partner is cheating on you. You don't want to stand your chopsticks up in a bowl because bowls with chopsticks stuck in them are for the deceased. You don't want to share a pear, 梨, because to share a pear is 分离, which has the same pronunciation as 分离, to separate or to part ways. When giving gifts, try to avoid giving umbrellas, 伞, and 钟, clock, because the pronunciation of 伞 is close to 散, which also means to split or to part ways. The pronunciation of 钟 is the same as 钟, and 送终 means to see a deceased person for the last time before they get buried. So to review, let's make a list of all the do's and don'ts we just talked about. 不要说死, don't say death. 不要戴绿帽子, don't wear a green hat. 不要把筷子插进碗里, don't stand chopsticks up in a bowl. 不要分离, don't share a pear. 不要送伞, 不要送钟, don't give umbrellas and clocks as gifts. How was this lesson? Are there any similar taboos in your culture? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. 下期再见. Bye! Hi everybody, Inru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer most your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, how do I decipher Chinese characters I don't know? As we mentioned in an early lesson, you need to know at least 5,000 Hanzi to be able to read. Does that mean you have to memorize every single one of them? Not necessarily. Each character is made of components, which many times indicate or give hints as to what the character means. These components are called radicals, or 偏旁部首. Learning some common radicals will help you recognize, remember, and reproduce characters. For example, the character 明 is made of two radicals, 日 and 月, meaning sun and moon. When you put the radical sun and moon together, we get the character 明, the most common meaning of which is bright. A lot of times when you see the radical 日 in a character, it often has something to do with the sun, like this character, 早, meaning early, and the word 早上, meaning morning. 水 means water. This radical is its variation. When you see them in a character, it usually means the character has something to do with water. 洗, to wash, 河, river, 海, ocean. 火 means fire, and this radical is its variation. When you see 火 and this radical, the character usually is related to fire or heat. Some examples are 热, hot, 烧, to burn, 灯, light, and 烟, smoke. 言 and this character are radicals for something related to speech, such as 说, to say, 语, language, 词, word. 誓言, promise. 时 and this radical are radicals for anything related to food and drinks. For example, 饭, meal or rice, 饱, full, 饿, hungry, 餐馆, restaurant. Learning Chinese characters does take a lot of time and effort, but the result sure is rewarding. After you learn some basic Chinese characters, you'll even find it easier to navigate in some other countries like Japan, since Hanzi is also part of their writing system. So if you've decided to learn Hanzi, I recommend that you start with radicals. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them all in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. 我们再见吧. Bye everyone. Hi everybody, Inru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer most your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, do Chinese people celebrate Christmas? Traditionally, people in China don't celebrate Christmas. As you know, Christmas is a Christian holiday, while the majority of religious people in China are Buddhists. However, under the influence of globalization, Chinese people are more aware of this Western holiday. Christmas in Chinese is 圣诞节, which literally means Holy Saint or God-born festival. 圣诞节 is now highly commercialized by businesses to make money. During Christmas time, shopping malls or 商场 often have big discounts called 打折. They also have sales or 促销 to attract shoppers, even though people aren't really shopping for Christmas presents. Most people who celebrate, either by going shopping or going to a party, simply enjoy the holiday atmosphere and the taste of a different culture. Chinese New Year or Spring Festival, 春节 in Chinese, on the other hand, will be the counterpart of Western Christmas in China. It's the biggest holiday of all, when families get together, enjoy a big feast, and celebrate the coming of a new year. Instead of decorating Christmas trees, Chinese people decorate their house with red things. They put up red paper cuts called 剪纸 on the windows and a big upside-down character 福, which means bliss and fortune, on the front door. They also hang up red lanterns or 灯笼 and other items. Instead of exchanging presents, children get a 红包, which is a red envelope with money in it. And of course, there's food. 饺子, dumplings, 鸡, chickens, 鸭, ducks, 鱼, fish are common New Year dishes. People usually get 7 days off to celebrate 春节. Each day, they visit different members of the family, giving each other New Year wishes and eating together. How was this lesson? Tell us about your holiday experience. It could be Christmas, Chinese New Year, or any special holiday in your country. We look forward to hearing from you. That's it for today. 今天我们就到这里 and we'll see you next time. 下次再见. Bye. Hi everybody, Yiru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer most of your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, what is the proper word order in a sentence? Unlike the pronunciation and writing system, sentence structure in Chinese is not as confusing and exotic. For most simple sentences, word order in Chinese is similar to that in English. Let's look at some basic SVO sentences, which are sentences with subject plus verb plus object word order. 我爱你, I love you. The subject is 我, the verb I, and the object 你, just like in English. 他吃面, he eats noodles. The subject is 他, the verb 吃, and the object 面. If you want to add a time phrase in the sentence, you usually put this phrase after subject. For example, 他星期二吃面. He eats noodles on Tuesdays. 我一直很爱你. I always love you. 你昨天晚上洗澡了吗? Did you take a shower last night? If you want to add a place in a sentence, like where someone does something, you also put it after the subject, before the verb. Let's see a couple of examples. 他在家吃面. He eats noodles at home. 我的好朋友在伦敦工作. My good friend works in London. What if we have a time and a place at the same time? Usually, we put time after the subject, then place, then verb, or verb plus object. For example, 我的好朋友去年在伦敦工作. My good friend worked in London last year. 他们上个星期六晚上在电影院看电影. They saw a movie at a movie theater last Saturday night. Of course, there are exceptions to the rules, and many times components are omitted in different cases, but the above word order is the basic foundation for sentence structure in Chinese. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. 我们再见吧. Bye. Hi everybody, Yinru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer most of your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, what are some useful tips for someone visiting China for the first time? Visiting China is exciting and very beneficial for your Chinese learning as well. But before you go, there are some tips I would love to share with you. Tip number 1. Take very good care of your valuables, especially at train stations, bus stops, airports, busy streets, and tourist attractions. Things get stolen within seconds. That's why a lot of women carry their backpacks in front of them. Tip number 2. Always bring toilet paper to public restrooms. Most Chinese public restrooms don't have toilet paper or paper towels. Some may not have hand soap either, so it's good to be prepared. Tip number 3. Expect people to be rude. People may stare if you have a non-Asian face, especially at places that don't usually have foreign visitors. People may cut in line, people may spit and sneeze right in front of you, people may talk loudly in public, and smokers may smoke in non-smoking areas. Just remember, these behaviors are something that Chinese are not proud of, but are still pretty common in China. Tip number 4. Internet is censored in China. That means no Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Google unless you use a VPN. Tip number 5. Be aware of the cleanliness of some local restaurants and street food. The food may look very good, but it's very likely you'll get sick from it. Bring some medications with you just to be safe. Tip number 6. Make an attempt to speak Mandarin to Chinese people. They will love it and make your stay more enjoyable. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? China is definitely a wonderful place to visit. I didn't give you these tips to scare you away. They're just something you might want to know to make your trip more pleasant. If you have visited China before, please share your tips and experience with us. We'd love to hear your stories. I'll see you next time. 我们下次再见. Bye.
3月 March 3月3月 March 3月17号 March 17th 3月17号4月 April 4月4月 April 4月1号 April 1st 4月1号5月 May 5月5月 May 5月的鲜花 May flowers 5月的鲜花6月 June 6月6月 June 6月的婚礼 June wedding 6月的婚礼7月 July 7月7月 July 我的生日在7月 My birthday is in July 我的生日在7月8月 August 8月8月 August 炎热的8月天 Hot August day 炎热的8月天9月 September 9月9月 September 9月1号 September 1st 9月1号10月 October 10月10月 October 在10月13号 On October the 13th 在10月13号11月 November 11月11月 November 感恩节11月24号星期四 Thanksgiving Thursday November 24th 感恩节11月24号星期四12月 December 12月12月 December 12月25号 December 25th 12月25号3月 March 4月
April 5月 May 6月 June 7月 July 8月 August 9月 September 10月 October 11月 November 12月 December 今天 Today 今天今天 Today 她今天看起来很伤心 She looks really sad today 她今天看起来很伤心昨天 Yesterday 昨天Yesterday 昨天上午 Yesterday morning 昨天上午明天 Tomorrow 明天Tomorrow 明天10点10分 Tomorrow at 10:10 明天10点10分周 Week 周 Week 一周7天 7 days a week 一周7天年 Year 年 Year 一年 1 year 一年秒 Second 秒 Second 下一秒 The next second 下一秒分钟 Minute 分钟 Minute 3分钟 3 minutes 3分钟小时 Hour 小时小时 Hour 还有1个小时 An hour away 还有1个小时钟 Clock 钟Clock 设置闹钟 Set an alarm clock 设置闹钟点 o'clock 点 o'clock 3点 3 o'clock 3点今天 Today 昨天 Yesterday 明天 Tomorrow 周 Week 年 Year 秒 Second 分钟 Minute 小时 Hour 钟 Clock 点 o'clock
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
打印机怎么不工作？
电源打开了吗？
开了，
还有纸吗？有墨吗？
都有。
USB 线也没问题。
哦，
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
打印机
printer,
打印机打印机工作
to work,
工作工作电源
power source,
电源电源插
to plug in,
插打开
to turn on,
打开纸
paper,
纸墨
ink,
墨 USB 线
USB cable,
USB 线
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
打印机怎么不工作？
电源打开了吗？
开了，
还有纸吗？有墨吗？
都有。
USB 线也没问题。
哦，
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
我想买房子，
你买得起吗？
现在租也快租不起了，
房东又要涨房租，
要涨500块。
找个人合租吧。
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
租
to rent,
租房子
house,
房子买得起
to afford to buy,
买得起房租
rent,
房租房东
landlord,
房东，房东，房客，
tenant,
房客，房客，长，
to rise,
长，长，合租，
to share the rent,
合租，合租。
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
我想买房子，
你买得起吗？
现在租也快租不起了，
房东又要涨房租，
要涨500块。
找个人合租吧。
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what kind of movies do you like? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about movies and ask other people about their favorite kinds of movies. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Movies and TV PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢恐怖片。
Once more with the English translation.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
What kind of movies do you like?
我喜欢恐怖片。
I like horror. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what kind of movies do you like? That's
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
listen to it again.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？你喜欢什么类型的电影？
This Chinese sentence literally translates as, you like what kind of movies? But it means, what kind of movies do you like? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
我喜欢
type of movie. I like type of movie. For example, I like horror movies.
我喜欢恐怖片。我喜欢恐怖片。
Here are a few more kinds of movies you can use with the same pattern to talk about movies. Horror,
恐怖片。恐怖片。
comedy,
喜剧。喜剧。
fantasy,
玄幻片。玄幻片。
romance,
言情片。言情片。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢喜剧。
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢玄幻片。
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢言情片。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what kind of movies do you like?
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
Imagine you like comedies. Do you remember how to say comedy?
喜剧，喜剧。
Say, I like comedy.
我喜欢喜剧。
Now answer the question saying that you like comedies.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢喜剧。
Now imagine that you like fantasy movies. Do you remember how to say fantasy?
玄幻片，玄幻片。
Say, I like fantasy.
我喜欢玄幻片。
Now, answer the question saying you like fantasy movies.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢玄幻片。
Now imagine you like romantic movies. Do you remember how to say romantic?
言情片，言情片。
Say, I like romance.
我喜欢言情片。
Now answer the question saying you like romantic movies.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢言情片。
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to talk about movies. You are now able to talk about types of movies like a native speaker. Start by practicing in the comments below. Tell us what your favorite kind of movie is. Lastly, don't forget to click the link in the description and download your PDF cheat sheets. You'll get useful phrases you need for everyday life for free. See you in the next lesson. Bye! Okay, today's topic is 4 rules for staying motivated with language learning. You're going to learn 1. The mistake people make with motivation, 2. The 4 rules for motivation, and 3. How you can apply the 4 rules to your language learning. Do you wish you were more motivated about language learning? You watch motivational videos, you feel good for a second, but none of it sticks. This lesson may have some tips to help you. First, listen up. Here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, the 24-hour survival phrases cheat sheet. Traveling and want to learn a bit of the language? Then these survival phrases will help you with the first 24 hours. Second, the ultimate listening video master course. How good are your listening skills? Watch this free video master course to more easily understand native speakers. You can download it right now. Third, the 50 most common verbs all beginners must know. Do you know all of these verbs? If not, this lesson will drill the 50 most common verbs into your head. Just use the free audio slideshow tool inside. And fourth, 20 strategies for learning a language at home. Want to learn a language from the comfort of your own home? This 1-minute lesson gives you all the best tactics for learning languages. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. 4 rules for staying motivated with language learning. Want to know how to really stay motivated? Then listen closely to these 4 rules. These rules might be a little different from the advice that you often hear. Ready? Rule number 1, action comes first. Are you the type of person who prefers to make things happen? Or are you the type that waits for things to happen to you? One of the best ways to stay motivated with language learning is to not think about motivation. Instead, take action and start learning. The mistake that most people make is that they have this backwards. They think they should wait to feel motivated first and then start learning. But really, it's the other way around. First, you do a language lesson. You learn a basic conversation. Then you do another. And then you start feeling like you can do more and learn more. You see results. So results bring motivation. Thinking about motivation does not bring motivation. Thinking about motivation is like reading an article about how to go outside for a run instead of actually going outside for a run. So action comes first. Rule number 2, always have an outside influence. It's very easy to lose motivation if you're learning language alone. So what do? Here are some examples. You get a study buddy. You hire a tutor. You join a meetup group. You plan a trip to a country where people speak that language. Or you sign up for a proficiency test, like many language learners do. Why do this? Because now you have other people depending on you. You have outside factors that keep you going with the language. For example, if you signed up for a language proficiency test, you know you have a few months to study and you have to take the test on a certain date. Someone is going to pass or fail you. This is a lot more motivating than learning alone. If you're learning with our program, you can get your own teacher with the Premium Plus plan. They'll hold you accountable, send you homework, and give you feedback. If you have a study buddy, well, now you have someone that expects you to show up and improve. And if they're better than you, that should give you extra motivation because you want to be at their level. So get some outside influence. The next rule is rule number 3. Always have a go-to study method. When you arrive at work or the gym, or when you start your homework, you always have that one thing you do first, right? What do you do? For example, with work, maybe the very first thing you do is check emails. Then you check your tasks for the week. After that, you get started. Well, you need to make the same kind of habits with language learning. You need a go-to study method that you're comfortable with, an easy starting point. And this totally depends on you and your style. Choose something you enjoy. Some people listen to audio lessons. Some people like flashcards. For some people, writing is easy. You can write out song lyrics and translate them. It's up to you. The point is, you should give yourself an easy first step to get you started and get into the flow of learning. If you're learning with our program, you can start with the word of the day email or do a quick 3-minute audio lesson. You can copy out the lesson dialogue, read through the lesson notes, or even easier, just review and re-listen to a lesson you took the day before. If you have your own go-to study method, you're already miles ahead of most learners. Leave a comment and tell us about it. And finally, rule number 4, always be working on something. So here, I want you to stop and think about your friends. Do you have a friend that's always up to something? Some project? They're working on a song, or they're making videos. They finish one thing and they start another. Well, if you wonder how they stay motivated, it's because they're always working on something. And this goes back to taking action. If you're not learning or working, you can't stay motivated. So you need to apply this to language learning. How? For example, like I mentioned in part 2 about outside influence, you can make a plan to travel to a country that speaks your target language. Or you can sign up for a language proficiency test. If you do that, you'll have something to look forward to, something to do. If you're traveling, you need to learn travel phrases. If you have a proficiency test coming up, you have to study grammar and do exercises. What else can you do? If you already have a textbook or workbook, make it a goal to finish that book. If you have a learning program, make it a goal to finish it or reach a certain level. If you're using our lessons, make it a goal to finish one learning pathway. Then, when you're done, give yourself something else to do, something to stick with, something to look forward to. So, let's recap. 1. Action comes first. 2. Always have an outside influence. 3. Always have a go-to study method. And 4. Always be working on something. So, thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how to get a return on your language learning investment. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye! Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Chinese ebook before it's gone.